Today's episode is going to be a tasting of 10 of the tomatoes that we're growing this year. We're doing 21 total. I'm also going to show you what I've canned so far. Join me. Today, Ellen and I are going to do a taste test of a few of the tomatoes that we're growing. We're growing 21 varieties in all this year. And the problem is I can't get them all to come ripe at the same time. So these are ripe at the moment, and that's what we're going to test. Let's start with this one. This is the Principe Borghese. Al, you want to show us what it looks like on your phone? Looks like a pretty normal tomato. Let's give it a test. This one is known for its ability to be a sun-dried tomato, so good for dehydrating. I'd say it's a pretty solid tomato flavor. What do you think, Al?
It is a very solid tomato flavor. It's a very good salad tomato. It has just the right amount of sweet and the right amount of tart in it.
Should we give Santiam Sunrise a try next? We did this last year. Steve over at Digwell Green Fingers sent this to us, so we know what it's like. I'll tell you, in this crazy heat that we have had this year, it has been so dependable. It's got a little bit thicker skin.
It's actually a little sweeter than the other one.
Always consistent, isn't it?
It's got I hate to say a yellow flavor taste, but it tastes that little different, maybe a little less acid.
Definitely less acid.
Definitely
sweeter. Definitely thicker skin, so no splitting. I mean, absolutely none. Had a lot of splitting in the garden this year. That high heat. We're very consistent on watering, but you know, when you've got heat index over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, it's hard. That's an excellent tomato.
It was a very excellent tomato. I know you're going to delete this part of the program after you finish, but your squirrel and rabbit as a pair just ran past you going that way.
Oh. So Santiam Sunrise, I think this is going to be in the garden every year.
Excellent.
It's just an excellent tomato. We're going to go for the pink champagne, which is new to us this year. They have kind of an elongated shape. Can you grab a picture of this one, Al? These have a slightly more muted pink tone to them than you know, some of the really rich red tomatoes. The inside is, ooh, take a picture of that one too.
Were these courtesy of anyone?
No, this is part of that trio from Renee's garden. Trio of tomatoes. So this one is, you know, looks like a typical tomato.
Mm-hmm. More on the fruit side than the tart side.
But more tomatoey than fruity, right?
More tomatoey than fruity. Has a nice fruit bite. Has a tougher skin.
Let me have another one. I think that one's got a bit more zing.
I don't know. It's delicious as far as I'm concerned.
Maybe a little bit floral even. Not in a bad way. It's a really good tomato. It's not going to knock your socks off, but I'll tell you what, when you have a bunch of these out, it's got a pretty shape, it's got a pretty color, and it's got a good taste. So I think that would be a keeper, huh? What do you think, Al?
Yep.
Should we try one of the big ones just to break it up?
Sure.
Okay, this is new to us. It's called the Amish Sherbet. It looks a whole lot like the Dr. Wyche's yellow, but has a different taste, and these come out smaller. Dr. Wyche's are probably a pound a piece. These Amish Sherbets are all pretty, petite. I'm going to cut this one sideways through the center. Wow, look at that. It's very meaty. Very, very meaty. Very few seeds. Okay, let's give that a taste. Meaty but juicy, right?
Meaty? Yep. Meaty and juicy.
Thick skin.
Thick skin, sweeter.
I'm still chewing the skin at the
More of the
end.
yellow.
Yeah, very thick skin, huh?
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not bad.
How do you think that's going to compare to the Dr. Wyche's?
I think they're going to be pretty close.
You think they're going to be pretty close? Should we do the Wyche's right after
Sure.
it?
Why not?
Okay, this was Al's favorite tomato last year in the taste test. It was my second, but by a hair. I mean, we just love this tomato. It was the largest tomato that I've ever grown. It was 2.26 pounds, our largest one. And let's see what that compares to on the inside. This one is really good for Al because he does have a problem with acid. Oh, pretty as ever. And it's a very low acid tomato. It's just consistent every time. And this thing went into the fall, into October, still kicking out tomatoes for us, didn't it?
Yes.
Last year, my oldest brother ate himself silly on these tomatoes in October. More of a zing, right?
A lot meatier. Not as sweet. Definitely more like a real tomato.
The skin
Very
is much
thinner
than the Amish sherbet.
Yep.
This particular one is less sweet than the Amish sherbet, though. Should we go back and just have a taste of that again to compare? The Amish sherbet is definitely sweeter.
They both are not really acidic either. That's what I like about both of them.
Yeah, they're very, very low acid. You can tell on both of them. Both beautiful tomatoes, but I would definitely give the win to Wyche's because it doesn't have as thick a skin. You chew the skin on the Amish sherbet for quite a little bit after the rest of the tomato's gone in your mouth. Let's go back for a little red one and try these little tumblers.
All right.
This is the Tomato Tumbler F1. We did these in the Greenstock Tower. So they were grown a little bit differently than the rest of the tomatoes. And they were put in first, early in the season.
And they also came out first.
And they also came out first. And we did that on purpose so we would have something quick. Very nice on the inside. Much more acid and zing than the yellow ones we just tasted.
More acid, heavier skin.
Kind of lackluster, though, in total flavor. What do you think?
Definitely, compared to some of the other options we're having, without a doubt.
But early, so that has, some bonus quality to it.
Get you ready for the real ones.
Let's do this one next. This is a Purple Heart Dwarf. These seeds came to us from Allie at my rusty garden in Canada. And I mean, talk about beautiful. This tomato's got beautiful in buckets. It's got striping, and it's very interesting as it ripens, and it does have that heart shape. This is probably a medium-sized tomato. It's on a semi-dwarf type vine and loaded. I mean, just loaded. So let's slice.
It's very Canadian with the heart. They're good people.
They're good people. All right, let's get a picture of this on the inside, Al. Look at that. So meaty, so
colorful.
Colorful and juicy, yeah.
Beautiful color. Unbelievably meaty.
Incredibly meaty, but still juicy.
Limited seeds, juicy. Not sweet, not tart.
Probably the most balanced tomato that we've eaten thus far in the tasting.
A solid tomato. It'd be very good for sandwiches.
We've actually had this one on BLTs and enjoyed it. I've turned a lot of them into salsa. So they roast up really well and the flavor condenses nicely.
So next is the mango apricot.
Okay, let's do it. This was part of the trio of cherry tomatoes from Renee's Garden Seeds. Very meaty on the inside and already juicy. These were early in ripening.
It almost feels like a mango.
It's a sweet tomato. It is a very sweet tomato.
Very thick skin though.
Thick skin, but not without flavor. Sweet. Sometimes those sweet ones are like bombs of sweet and nothing behind it. That one's got some complexity behind it. They're very nice.
Complexity and, I don't know, just a tomato, real tomato substance to it. And the coloring with the different, you got some yellows and oranges in there.
Yeah.
That's actually it. It's a beautiful presentation tomato.
It is. And in cooking, it's worked out really, really well. I add them, you know, just a minute or so to some kind of a stir fry that I'm doing, so that it's long enough for them to get warm, but not long enough to, you know, lose their shape. And when you're eating that, then all of a sudden you get a little pop of sweet, which is quite nice.
A Tim's?
A Tim's. Okay, a Tim's. So this is our third year doing Tim's Taste of Paradise. It is been a favorite. I like it better than Sun Gold because they didn't split. However, this year, with the high heat, they have been just as splitty as Sun Gold. So they're not without splits in certain years.
Yep, it's a pop of sweet, very sweet, but has a nice little flavor to it. Great for salads, and maybe better for snacking off the vine. That, I think, is still the best way to eat these, is just grab them off the vine and snack on a few.
Out in the garden for sure, they make good treats. I might give them a pass next year if we have a lot of other ones, simply because I was frustrated this year with all of the splitting. We've probably lost about 40% of them to splitting. No, it's a very profuse plant, and we have 21 varieties out there, so we're not truly missing out. But if we cut back, you know, that might be a consideration.
Yep.
The last one is the Lucid Gem. Now, this was our winner. Debbie, our neighbor, and I liked this one the best, and it was your number 2 last year. This gets that purple anthocyanin shoulders. Every one of them's different. Some of them are bright orangey red with yellow and the purple. Some of them are more just orange. Some of them are a bit on the yellow. So you never know quite what you're going to get. I'm going to give that a, see, it never disappoints with color. Always beautiful on the inside when you slice it open. This tomato well, let's just see what it tastes like this year, because honestly, we haven't had it yet.
I haven't had any. Still excellent.
Still an excellent tomato.
Meaty, a little bit of sweetness.
Low acid.
Thin skin.
Rolls around your mouth very complexly. You get that fruity sweet up front. You get the more tomato zing at the finish. Yeah. So I'd say that's still at the top of the list. However, this year, again, in this high heat, which is kind of an unusual year all the way around, there's a lot of them that have been very splitty. So that's been...
Take our friend here, for example.
Yeah, that's a good example. So, Al, if I had to pin you down to maybe picking 4 to redo next year or 5, what would you pick?
It would be very, very difficult, because other than the Tims and the Tumblers, everything else there is worth another shot. So I would have a very hard time telling you which ones not to grow. I personally like the bigger tomatoes only because I like them on sandwiches and I like them just as slices. So those would probably, get the nod if I had to break it down any further than that.
I'm pretty similar. I think if of these two, I might leave this one behind because of the thick skin, really chewy, thick skin. I would leave also, just like you, the F1 Tumbler behind, because the only thing it really has going for it is it comes early. Other than that, it's akin to a upgraded supermarket flavored tomato. Nothing special about it.
Yeah.
And with the splitting, if it's going to be a hot summer predicted, I don't think the Tim's would be worth another go round. But we love them, so it's hard to leave that one behind.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you got something out of it. We always find tasting
Tomatoes
interesting. We get ideas, right?
Yeah, you never know. There are so many varieties to choose from. And the best way to learn about the different varieties is to listen to other people talk about the tomatoes that they love. And we found a couple of new ones this year because somebody loved them in the past.
Yep, exactly. So far this year, this is what I have gotten canned. I have done 6 of these tomato sauces. Now, these just have onion and garlic with them, so I can use these for a variety of things that we cook with. I have done 17 salsas, 2 batches, all medium in heat. Use some of our jalapenos that we've grown. And last night I did ketchup, 9 of these babies. Delicious. Danny over at the Grow Up channel sent me the Heinz 1350 tomato, and boy, are they packed with flavor. I roasted those first and then turned them into ketchup. He's got a recipe over on his site, and basically what I did was use one of the shelf-stable recipes, and I added some of his secret spices, which are curry and allspice. This is some delicious ketchup. Remember, Sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now, and we'll see you on the next one.